In this video, I walk through a full step-by-step beginner-free course to help you get started making money with Amazon Online Arbitrage as quick as possible. Welcome to the free Amazon Online Arbitrage beginners course. We're going to go through exactly how to make money from home, flipping name brand products on Amazon, bought at a discount from big retailers. A little bit about myself. So I started selling on Amazon back in 2019 when I was a college kid. I had actually been flipping products just from my dorm room on sites like StockX and Goat. And eventually I learned about Amazon and started selling used books on Amazon because I didn't know that there was another path, the one I'm about to show you in this video, which is flipping name brand products. Eventually, at the end of 2020, I finished up college a semester early to chase my internet money dreams, like I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this video want to do. And that was right when I learned about flipping name brand products on Amazon, of which I instantly took off like a rocket ship. And in my first month, did about 6K in sales, about $1,000 profit. Second month, about 30K in sales, about 6,000 profit. And within 6 months, I was doing 100 grand a month in revenue and about 15K profit, which culminated in later that year, November and December of 2021, making about 35K and 50K profit respectively, just flipping name brand products on Amazon, bought at a discount from big retailers like Nike.com, Adidas, Kohl's, Dick's Sporting Goods, etc. Right here. So as I was scaling up, I eventually got my own warehouse. Now I use what's called a prep center as I live down here in Miami. I've relocated. And my biggest month ever was last December, where I was able to do over 492,000 in revenue, which was over $80,000 in profit, using the exact business model, systems, and strategies I'm about to show you in this free training here. And this doesn't just work for me. We can see Sam here was able to do over 90K in revenue in her first 6 months, which was actually just 1 month right here. She's really new to this. Thomas and the boys, where you see we're able to do 1.6 million in sales. They're showing love to the roadmap right there, as well as other people getting fast results. We can see Q4 heating up 21K in revenue past 7 days. So getting life-changing results flipping name brand products on Amazon is completely possible if you stay consistent and take action and do what I'm about to show you in this video here. The Amazon community is amazing as well. I've been so lucky to meet a ton of cool Amazon sellers. This was a couple weeks ago at a hibachi dinner with my friends. Over here, a lot of these guys on the left are experienced sellers. A lot of them do 6 figures a month, and some of the guys over here on the right are just getting going with selling on Amazon, but we're all just in Southeast Pennsylvania, and we hang out when I come back there, and it's a lot of fun meeting cool Amazon sellers, and I want to meet you guys as well that are watching this video too, as you guys are getting started with your own Amazon journey here. And this free course is going to give you everything you need to know to get started today. We're going to cover how the business model actually works, comparing online arbitrage to other Amazon business models, terms you need to know, how to get your business set up, beginner frequently asked questions, what supplies you need to know, comparing FBA and FBM, the different fulfillment methods, as well as getting ungated, the free tools you want to use, what paid software you want to use, what products to buy, what products to avoid, getting your first sales up, doing product research the same ways I do in my own 7-figure Amazon business, as well as delegating your business scale and tips to fast track success. So make sure you take notes, remove distractions, and take action on this info. It can be completely life-changing, but only if you get after it and stay focused and apply what I'm about to show you in this video. So how the business model actually works. So online arbitrage is the art of buying big name brand products at a discount, then flipping them on Amazon Prime, leveraging the largest e-commerce marketplace in the world. This is not drop shipping. You handle the inventory yourself. You ship the product to yourself, to your house, or eventually to a warehouse or prep center, and then handle the inventory, sending it off to the Amazon FBA warehouse or fulfilling directly to your customer, which I'm going to go through when each of those are applicable. So this is not drop shipping. Drop shipping you can't really do on Amazon. Online arbitrage is a lot less risky than private label and wholesale. It's the best beginner business model in my opinion. And actually comparing online arbitrage to other business models. So these are the other common Amazon business models. So private label is buying stuff from China, like buying something from Alibaba, stuff you see people on social media talking about. I bought a phone case for $1, sold it for $22 on Amazon. They don't tell you have to it's way more complicated process. You have to buy stuff and get it over from China. You have to create a listing. You have to have photos. You have to do copywriting. You have to spend money on ads, right? Meanwhile, with online arbitrage, we're selling big name brand products like Nike, Adidas, Lego, Neutrogena. And if you're unfamiliar with it, you can sell those products on Amazon. I'm going to show you how to get unlocked to that. It's very easy. So private label takes a lot more time, requires a lot more capital, and is a lot more risky because you're buying a product and you don't actually know how well it's going to sell. Meanwhile, we're going to go through exactly how to analyze all the data on a Nike sneaker and know exactly how well it sold for years, what price it's sold for years, and all you have to do is locate that item at a profitable price, right? Wholesale is where you're buying products in bulk from manufacturers or distributors. This is harder to start, requires a lot more legal stuff, and it's going to take probably somewhere between 30 to 90 days to actually make sales. There's big lead times, there's big minimum order quantities, so you need a lot more capital. And overall, I don't think it makes as much sense for beginners as online arbitrage does. Drop shipping is not allowed on Amazon. Anyone telling you it is lying. Retail arbitrage is very similar to online arbitrage, but you're going inside the stores to find products, which I actually totally recommend doing. Like, it's faster to make money with retail arbitrage than it is with online arbitrage. You probably have Ollie's, Kohl's, Nike Outlet, Marshalls nearby. It makes sense to totally go ahead and take a look at that. Nice thing is you can do both. You can do all the business models on one account if you wanted to. You can do retail arbitrage and online arbitrage at the same time. They really feed off each other because it's very similar types of products. So I definitely recommend doing both. Selling used books on Amazon, this is what I started doing. This takes basically no money, but it's really, really difficult to scale and takes tons of time, because with online arbitrage, it doesn't necessarily take a ton of time once you're pretty good at it. Like, you're just trading money for more money. Meanwhile, selling used books, you're trading a ton of time for a little bit of money, and you can't really delegate it as much. It's a lot harder to scale, so I wouldn't really recommend doing that. Definitely recommend online arbitrage and retail arbitrage for beginners, because you don't need to run ads. You don't need to buy stuff from China. You don't need to create a product. You're just finding in-demand products, which is very, very easy to find, and you're locating them at profitable prices. In terms of terms you need to know, so FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. This is the type of way to sell products on Amazon, where you ship products to the Amazon warehouse in bulk. Amazon tells you where to send them. You can fit multiple SKUs in one box. Shipping is incredibly cheap via FBA as well. So that's why, you'll mainly be selling through Amazon FBA. FBM is Fulfillment by Merchant. The nice part about selling fulfilled by merchant is you don't pay FBA fees, but you do pay individual shipping. It's right around the same cost. The only time merchant fulfilled really makes sense is if other people are FBMing on a listing. I'll show you how to identify this. And typically during really finite examples, like selling Thanksgiving products during Thanksgiving, right? There's a lot less competition on seasonal types of products. So typically you can get the buy box FBM a lot easier. Q4 stands for the last months of the year, aka the holiday season, right? Q1 is January to March, etc., right? Q2, Q3. The buy box, this is the buy it now option on Amazon. This is where you want to be as a seller. I think it's like 80% of the buy box, 80% of the sales go to whoever's in the buy box. We want to be here as sellers. Luckily, it rotates, and I'm going to show you how in the product analysis section. Virtual assistants are offshore talent that help you run your Amazon business for $3 to $10 an hour. Tasks like sourcing, admin, etc. Later in the video, I'm going to show you how to go ahead and hire them. Prep Center, this is a third-party warehouse that intakes and processes inventory to FBA for you. Makes sense, around 500 units a month. I'm going to show you how to hire one of those as well. Online arbitrage is buying products online to flip. Keepa, this is a product research tool that shows supply, demand, and price action over time. This is incredibly important to your success. I'm going to break down exactly how to use it. SellerAmp is our product research tool that shows the exact profit after shipping, fees, sales tax, etc., and helps you find more products. Sales rank is a number assigned to every item to show demand on Amazon. The lower, the better. As a beginner, it makes sense to stay under around 100, 150,000 for the most part. The sales rank changes over time, which is why you need to be using Keepa and SellerAmp so you can see not only the instantaneous demand, but also how a product has performed over time. Retail arbitrage is buying stuff in store to flip. Private label is buying an unbranded product and branding it, typically like Alibaba type stuff. A bolo is a hot item. It stands for be on the lookout for. So like toys during Christmas, Thanksgiving plates during Thanksgiving, candy and costumes during Halloween. And ASIN stands for Amazon Standard Identification Number, which is the unique unifier given to each specific product on Amazon, unique identifier right here. And you'll see, I'll show you how to go ahead and actually use that. But that's what you're going to use to list products. And then ungating is basically, as a beginner, I'm going to go through exactly how to get that done. Amazon wants to make sure that people aren't selling fakes on their platform. So you're going to need to go through the ungating process. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that as well. So starting an Amazon business. So really all you need to do this is a professional Amazon Seller Central account, which you can create on sellercentral.amazon.com. This is going to cost about $40 per month. You'll manage your Amazon business via the Amazon Seller app, which is a free app for the phone, as well as Amazon Seller Central. You do not need an LLC to start. However, I'm not a lawyer. It might be better for your situation. I have no idea. You can always change your setup or bank account later, and your main priority is getting sales ASAP. So it's going to take a couple days for Amazon to verify your account. So I'd recommend getting started with that as quick as possible. Some beginner frequently asked questions. Can I start this part-time? Absolutely. I definitely would not recommend doing it full-time from the beginning. You want to start small if you're going to start a business, low risk. And even if you have 9 to 5 or you're in college, and some of those testimonials I showed you were people that have 9 to 5s and are in college and are seeing life-changing results. So you can totally start this up part-time on the weeknights or weekends and build this up as you go, because the goal when you're starting a business is to have freedom. So the nice thing is with selling on Amazon, you can do it from anywhere. You can do it anytime. It just depends if you get the work done. How much capital does it actually take to get started? I'd recommend somewhere between $1,000 to $3,000. Obviously, the more the merrier. If you want to start wholesale or private label, you're going to need minimum. Typically, a lot of business experience to make that work as a beginner, and $5,000 to $10,000. But for arbitrage, you can start nice, small, and low risk with $1,000 to $3,000, and definitely don't risk anything that you're can't lose and such as well. Do I need to negotiate with Chinese suppliers? Absolutely not. You don't need to negotiate with any suppliers to sell name brand products on Amazon. All we're doing is finding deals on websites like Dick's Sporting Goods and Kohl's and flipping them on Amazon for a profit. Target profit margins should be somewhere between 10 and 25%, depending on how much you want to delegate, how much you want to work, how much capital you have and such. A good OA business, online arbitrage, should be around like 13 to 18% net. During Q4, it can be a lot higher, especially if you're willing to do like retail arbitrage for high margin bolos, drive around to a bunch of stores and such. But a good OA business should be somewhere between 13 and 18%. Is there a way to automate the process? So passive income doesn't exist. Anyone telling you it does on YouTube is lying to you. However, there are going to be ways to delegate in your business, and I am going to show you closer to the end of this video. Do you need tons of space to start? This is a major misconception, like especially a lot of college kids have, that they don't have the space. I had like over 100 pairs of shoes in my dorm room when I was flipping shoes back in the day, and actually had to hold inventory because I wasn't selling on Amazon yet. Meanwhile, the nice thing about Amazon FBA is Amazon holds the inventory for you in their prime warehouses, and all you do is have to ship it out. So I started out in my dorm room, then I got a storage unit. Once I really started scaling up, and eventually I had a warehouse, and now I use a prep center. So you actually don't need tons of space to start, especially when you're new. You need basically none. I mean, you could even just prep stuff in your car and such if you need to as well. Do I need to do customer service? The nice thing about selling on Amazon FBA is customer service is not required for you, at least for FBA. I heard it's impossible to get ungated. How do I actually get that done? Luckily, my friends, ungating is very easy. Times have changed. What happened in 2020 messed up the supply chain and caused a lot of wholesalers to not be able to get product to the market the way Amazon wanted. So they made the common person, aka you and I, able to get ungated from the beginning. How do I get paid by Amazon? Amazon pays out every 2 weeks, and eventually, once your account's been around and you have consistent sales, you're going to actually get paid out daily. Then how do you get the products to the Amazon warehouse and ultimately to the customers? You ship them in bulk to the FBA warehouse that Amazon tells you to send your product to. You can fit multiple products in the same box, and they make it really easy. There's a lot of good tutorials on YouTube in terms of creating a shipment for Amazon FBA. What supplies do I need? So a fancy label printer definitely helps. I got started just using the old school printer at my college library. Rollo or Polono are really good ones in terms of fancy label printers. You can get free shipping labels from the UPS website in bulk, which is incredibly helpful. Just look up like UPS free shipping supplies, and then you can check out, I think it's one per month for free, but then you can email them with your account number and you can get a ton of free 4x6 labels. So I don't want anyone watching this video, like literally just go do that now. It's really helpful. You can get a ton of free boxes from the USPS website as well. That you're going to be helpful for FBM, especially if you're watching this prior to Q4. You can get your big FBA boxes from Walmart. I really like using the 24x16x19s. I think the limit's 25 inch, so stay below that. There's also similar options at Home Depot, Lowe's, Uline, etc. FBM boxes range from like the 14x10x6 range from Walmart, Uline, Staples, etc. You're going to be able to fit most products for FBM in those. You can get tape, FNSKU labels, and poly bags from Amazon. Sizes depending on what kind you need. Don't overthink this stuff, guys. Just go ahead and knock out this checklist today. It's really, really helpful. It's really easy to get done. And then 9x12 and 12x15 poly mailers from Amazon are really helpful for FBM. You can get them really cheap or even go directly to the source if you want to save even more money. Right there. So FBA versus FBM, these are the two ways to actually fulfill products to Amazon, but beginners always ask me, which one should I actually choose? You're going to primarily be using Amazon FBA. It's much more scalable and you can delegate it to a prep center. You don't have to pay individual shipping costs, which helps you save money, and you get super cheap bulk shipping rates through Amazon. You're going to notice on most listings, it's primarily FBA sellers. FBM is less scalable, but really good during quick opportunities and for learning quick. right? So for example, backpacks during back to school or toys during Q4, there's not as much time to get those into the Amazon FBA warehouse. So it makes sense to do FBM in those cases. And the nice thing is I'm going to show you how during product analysis, you're really only going to FBM on products that you see other people are FBM on, which makes it a lot easier. It's harder to get the buy box. There's no FBA fees, but you do pay individual shipping costs. It's typically right around the same price. However, on items that are below £1 but above $25, it is actually a little bit cheaper to FBM rather than FBA. FBA is largely better, but as a beginner, it makes a ton of sense to do some FBM too for cash flow and seasonal products, especially because FBM, you can buy a lot less quantity of stuff too, because you don't have to worry about shipping in bulk to Amazon to bring those costs down. If other people are FBMing, you probably can too. It makes sense to move to 0-day handling time and eventually use a repricing software, which I have a tutorial on my channel in terms of actually really scaling up with FBM, but especially this time here in Q4, there's a ton of opportunity for FBM and more listings are starting to shoot up in price. The sales rank starting to plummet, and that provides FBM opportunity for us as sellers. In terms of getting ungated, so this used to be impossible for beginners, but luckily now is really, really easy, even if you have a completely brand new account. Basically, Amazon wants to avoid fakes going on their platform, so they make it so in order to get ungated and unlocked to sell in a lot of big brands like Nike, Adidas, Lego, Neutrogena, toy, category, etc., they make you just prove that you've purchased from a legit supplier. All big retail site email confirmations work. That's Kohl's, Champs, Target, Walmart, any of the brand websites. All of these work. You just need invoices or email receipts totaling 10 plus. Now, you got to understand, getting declined a few times is completely normal. It's an automated system. Just trust me, it'll work. Just submit. And by the time you place the order, you can get literally ungated submitted today. However, eventually, if they decline you a couple times, the product's going to come in. You can also include a picture of the product, the credit card statement, the shipping email, the delivery email. You just want to make it as easy as possible for the virtual assistant reading that to be like, okay, this guy clearly bought from Champs. These products are clearly legit. Let me approve. Luckily, there's also tons of brands that will automatically ungate you from day one with no invoices needed for free. And if you want a list of 100 plus brands you can get ungated in today for free, no invoices needed, watch till the end of this video. I'm going to show you exactly how I give that away to you for free. There. In terms of some free tools to use, so these are just tips in terms of making products profitable with online arbitrage, a little bit even just more advanced stuff too. It makes sense to make a burner Gmail account and sign up for accounts on a lot of big websites. They'll now tell you when they have deals going on. It's really, really nice. You can literally just create a burner Gmail address, sign up for accounts on 50 plus, 100 plus big websites really quick in like an hour or two, just creating an account. And now that email is going to get marketed to forever. And these websites are going to tell you when they have deals going on. Speaking of that, BlackFriday.com and other blogs talk about deals that are going on, which is incredibly helpful too. You'll also just notice if you ever see trending name brand products on TikTok, like Stanley Cups, Lululemon fanny packs, etc., typically those flip pretty well on Amazon. You can go back and look at the performance of those products too, and it's pretty funny to see the demand absolutely plummeting as they go viral on TikTok. It's really important to understand that with online arbitrage, it's really important to be using coupons and these free Chrome extensions you can use from day one. They're completely free. Capital and Shopping, Rakuten, Top Cashback, Coupon Birds, Honey, Retail Me Not, and Be Frugal are really helpful for finding additional discounts on products and making them profitable. In terms of what software to use, so I'm going to walk through full tutorials on each of these, but in terms of product research, this is all I use to run my own 7-figure Amazon biz. You just want to use SellerAmp, which is $20 per month. This tells you the exact net profit for OA and RA. It's a mobile app and Chrome extension, as well as helps you stay organized and find more products. Handles all the Amazon fee math. So I don't even really know how Amazon fees work. SellerAmp just shows me what's correct, as well as Keepa is $20 a month. It tells you supply, demand, and price history over time for every product since it's been in on Amazon. It's basically like stock charts for Amazon products, and I'm going to walk through full tutorials on each of those in a couple minutes here. So now let's dig into actually doing product analysis and look at, okay, what does a good product look like? What does a bad product look like? How do we actually go ahead and interpret the data, as well as breaking down a couple winning items and how to actually start doing product research on your own to find winning products. Start out for product analysis, we're going to take a look at the Keepa product research tool. So Keepa, it's Keepa. It's actually a European company, so I think it's like $20 per month, which ends up being around like 17 or 18 euros, depending on the month. So you're going to go to Keepa.com and get that. There's not a free trial. It's just $20 a month. It's worth it to use. When you come to Keepa, right here, it's going to have 3 charts. Right here, I'd recommend clicking these sub ranks right here just to take it out. So we're going to walk through like how to actually analyze Keepa charts, different parts of it that are really helpful, and then break down a bunch of items as well. So now you can see this top and bottom chart. The bottom chart is really simple. I'd recommend just having new offer count selected right here. New offer count stands for competition, so how many people are actually selling a specific product. Obviously, the lower the competition, the better, but it's much more important about the actual trend of the competition, because something might have 30 sellers on it 3 months ago, but if it currently has 30 sellers as well, there's a good chance the price has stayed largely the same. So, people ask often, it's like, okay, how many sellers is too many sellers? It's much more about the trend. And if the competition is an issue, you're going to see it in the price as well, and it's holistically going to be an item that you actually want to disqualify. Right here, the top chart is a little bit more confusing if we take away everything right here. In terms of what I like having selected for the top chart, so I like having sales rank, so we can actually see the sales rank over time. You'll notice looking at different charts that the sales rank literally changes every couple minutes, every couple hours right here. So it's much more important in terms of the overall general trend of the sales rank right here. The buy box price is pretty self-explanatory. That's going to be the pink line, and we can see the buy box over time right here. You want to be mainly looking at the month-long and 3-month-long data for every product you're looking at. Although the cool part is you can see even the year-long, right, as well as you can see the all-time data and see the Keepa data dating back to 2015 when I was in high school. For this specific item, if we go back to the 3-month, which is mainly what you'll be looking at as a beginner, I like the idea of having the third-party FBA selected right here, which is the orange triangles. The orange triangles just represent a new seller in the low price FBA. They do not register sales. I don't mean sales. However, the more orange triangles you see, the more an item is selling. If you take a look at like a 1K BSR item, it's going to have a ton of orange triangles. But if you take a look at a 500K ranked item, which obviously doesn't sell super often, you're going to see not a ton of orange triangles right here. Other than that, the new one you actually have to have selected right here. This blue line is just automatically selected, like just default, regardless of how you change it up. I don't recommend having any of these other ones selected just because I don't think they're really that helpful. Right here, so the nice part is we can see exactly how this product has performed over time. Mainly what we're looking for on an item is making sure that the sales rank's been low for a while. So we can see it's been right in that sweet spot below 150, below 100,000 for a while right here, predominantly as of the past month in like the 80,000, 100,000, 70,000 range. We can also see that as of the past month right here, since mid-October, the buy box is very, very stable, right around like $25 right there, which is awesome. We can see it's been a little bit higher in the past, but the competition did go up a little bit. But we can see in the competition range of like 9 to 15 sellers, the price has been pretty stable right here, which is nice as well. And then we'd see over the year long, there's a lot of oscillation of price and competition, and you can get really, really psyched out as a beginner if you're looking at ton stuff. But we can see back here in February and March, it looks like the competition shot up, then the price subsequently shot down, but then the competition shot down between like April and June, and then the price shot up subsequently. So they're pretty inversely correlated. The lower the competition, the higher the price, the higher the competition, the lower the price. And the nice thing is you can see over time and not make any bad buys by actually doing this. As you're doing product research, right, 30% ROI minimum, making sure that the demand's good, making sure there's no red flags in terms of like competition shooting up, price shooting down, which we're going to take a look at some other examples of products and do some live sourcing in this video as well. So the big thing is just taking a look at the price history, seeing the normal oscillation of the buy box price, sales rank, and competition over time, making sure there's not any major issues with that. In terms of who actually gets the buy box right here, so we can see obviously the buy box rotates between different sellers. A big component of that is actually the delivery dates of different sellers. So we can see the current seller in the buy box, he or she's buy box is Saturday, November 18th. Meanwhile, there's some sellers that have like delivery dates like November 24th to 25th that aren't getting the buy box as much. Delivery dates are primarily driven by FBM. If you're an FBM seller, being in 0-day handling time, which it's easier to get the buy box as an FBA seller, right? Because you have the Prime badge. As an FBA seller, it's primarily going to be dependent on just your delivery dates in terms of how quick Amazon's checking your inventory. And it's just a good rule of thumb to list products more expensive too when you're sending stuff in, just to not be the one that tanks the price right there. We can see this product's been pretty stable. This is a good example of a reseller-friendly item because we can see there's lots of other sellers here. As resellers, we want to be avoiding stuff that only has one seller, aka is private label or is unbranded. We want to be selling big name brand products like Pampered Chef, Lego, Neutrogena, Avena, Puma, Under Armour, Adidas, Converse, all that kind of stuff. Right here, other parts of Keepa we want to take a look at. This track product section is absolutely not important. Do not worry about that. However, this data section is very important. We can see data and then product details right here. So what we're able to see in the data product detail section is we're going to be able to see a bunch of averages right here. So a lot of the stuff over here on the left isn't super important, but a lot of the stuff over here on the right is really, really nice to see and validate the performance of a product over time. Especially as a beginner, like for example, with me, I can kind of look at a Keepa chart and see if it's good. As a beginner, obviously you have a lot less experience. So you can nicely leverage a lot of hard data in terms of like making sure that the 90-day average sales rank aligns with your target. and such, making sure that the buy box price aligns with profitability and such. We can see if Amazon's been on it. We can see they've been out of stock 100% of the time, which is a very, very good sign right here. And then we can also see the third-party averages. Although right here, you mainly want to be focusing on the offer count averages as well as the buy box averages and the sales rank averages to make sure that pricing, demand, and competition is in check to where you want it to be from a profitability perspective. Right here and such. And we can actually just give this a Google here and we can see it's on the Pampered Chef website for $13.50. We're going to do a full breakdown of SellerAmp as well here. This is actually pretty close to a profitable item right here. Another thing you're going to see as you're just doing product research is that a lot of products will be very, very seasonal based on their demands. Like certain things, like for example, this is like a vegetable peeler, so it's not going to be super seasonal. But if you look at certain toys, their sales rank will plummet every winter. If you look at certain like towels and sunscreens and such, their sales rank will plummet every summer as well, which is pretty helpful too. But I definitely like the product details section. Right here, the offers tab, I'm not a fan of. Some people really like looking at the sold 30-day data. It's very inaccurate in my opinion. Do not look at this. But what you can do is you can scroll over here to the first scene, which is pretty helpful in terms of seeing how long certain sellers have been on a listing, which is pretty nice. Checking out that as well. The buy box statistics section of Keepa is very, very helpful in terms of verifying who's getting the buy box, what percentage of the time, at what price, as well as their stock counts, who the seller is, and what type of seller they are. So say you're looking to FBM a product potentially, you go to like the 90-day data and see what percentage of sellers are getting the buy box here FBM. So it's lack of FBA checkmark right there. And we can see in this case, it's like only like 10% of sellers, right? You typically want like 20% plus, unless the volume's really, really good, right? But we can filter to see, okay, who's selling at the most expensive prices, who's getting the buy box most of the time, filtering to see who's getting it most often. Right here is helpful as well. We can also see their review counts, not super helpful. See who's won it most recently too. Right here, we can see those are just the past couple of days in terms of November right there, which is pretty helpful as well. Taking a look at product number 2 right here, just getting a general sense of the way, like just you're gonna learn the most just reading a bunch of Keepa charts right here. We can see certain items like a year ago this had way more competition, but then the competition went subsequently down so that the price went way up. This is another example of a green flag type of item, and that we can see that the competition throughout September and October was right in like the 30 to 20 seller range. And then the offer count went way down right here. Now it's about 8 sellers right here, and the price has subsequently gone a lot up. We can also see that from time to time, the buy box price will be a lot higher than the lowest price. That's mentioned, that's referenced in terms of like just the theory around delivery dates and such, and that you want to make sure when your delivery dates aren't caught up that you're not undercutting people. And in general, it's so important to take a look on Keepa and see where the buy box is actually going, not just worrying about what the lowest price is when you're listing a product on Amazon. In terms of stuff you want to avoid right here, a big issue you want to avoid as an Amazon seller is what's called IP complaints, or intellectual property complaints, basically, where the person who owns the brand, because we don't own any of these brands, we don't create any of these listings as resellers, right? We're selling on listings that already get traffic. The person who owns the brand can totally just kick you off at any time. So we want to make sure there's no history of that, right? It's really, really not going to happen too often, and especially not if you're using the method I'm about to show you. Then if we look at this, like this balance of nature, we can see right off the bat, the sales rank's really good looking at SellerAmp, right? But if we scroll down here, this balance of nature at it, we're going to scroll through here and I'll show you how you can identify that this actually has IP complaint history in the past. So if we scroll down here to the Keepa chart right here, we can take a look and see that the price has been very, very stable in this item, which is an incredibly green flag. The problem is if we go to the year-long Keepa chart, we can see that back in January here, if we scroll in and zoom in on Keepa, we can see that the new offer count was right around like 70, and then it shot down to literally 0 sellers there in January, right? So this is absolutely unfortunate IP complaint product, because we can see that the brand owner kicked everyone else that was on this product off of the listing right here. So this is absolutely the type of product you want to actually go ahead and avoid, unfortunately, right here. So if you ever see listings like that had a bunch of sellers, then it got completely nuked off, or maybe that's even happened multiple times. Like we can see there's a couple times since I've been at least close to that. That's the type of item you want to avoid and the type of brand you want to avoid. I personally like to hang out in the biggest brands, Puma, Adidas, Nike, Converse, etc. Some of these big beauty brands, right? So I don't really have to worry about IP complaints too much, because those brands don't care. They just care about brand awareness, making sure their products have a listing on Amazon in general. But in general, if you're selling smaller brands you haven't heard of, it's incredibly important. You need to be looking on the Keepa charts and seeing if there's any IP complaint history right here. This next item we can see actually doesn't have a buy box right here. There's no buy box option on Amazon. It's really important to still consider products that don't have a buy box, and that we can see right here, this price has been very, very stable here, even though there's no buy box line on Keepa because it hasn't had a buy box in a while. The competition's trending up a little bit, but that hasn't really affected the price action, and that the price actually has gone up a little bit too, like 50 cents right here. So if we take a look at the year long, we can see that this hasn't had a buy box since like August, but this has remained pretty stable right here. So this could still be a good product even if there's no buy box right here. And the cool part too is we can see that this product actually absolutely performed really, really well last December, that the price went up from like 20 all the way to like 28 for a good bit of the first half of December, which is when the big FBM rush happens. So this is an example of a good product and the type of item you want to take a look at. Stable price, even though there's no buy box, but we can see that's not really affecting and consider that this item's still selling well because people haven't lowered their prices. Seasonal items are really, really good too. Like for example, this is pretty neat. You can see the sales rank if we take out all these stats on here in terms of taking a look just on the Keepa chart, right? The sales rank absolutely plummeted on this backpack in August because it makes sense. That's when demand picks up for backpacks, right? And the cool part is we can see that over time, that happens every single summer. We can see in 2019, in 2020, even then, right? 2021, the rank went way down. There was no sales rank, which that even can be fine. It's pretty similar to no buy box. You just assess the sales rank the same. We can see the sales rank plummeted in July as well, or July, August of 2022, and then July, August of 2023 as well. So we can see that when the sales rank really, really went down, if we take a look at the buy box stats here, the price absolutely shot up right here as well. And that the price went from like the mid 50s range all the way up to like 70 opportunistically. And that's when, especially with Q4 approaching, when a lot of you guys are watching this, you can opportunistically take advantage of a lot of these leads right here as well, which makes sourcing really, really efficient in terms of taking a look at other stuff on here. Another thing that's important is the variations tab on Keepa. A lot of listings are going to have multiple colors, multiple size. You'll see this when we do a lot of product research for shoes, but the way you're going to identify which of the variations performs the best is by going to the variations tab on here and then configuring a column similar to mine and filtering by review count. And we can see that the black listing here has about 3,000 reviews. Meanwhile, the navy blue one has only about 600. So it makes sense that just based on the black one being a lot more common color, this is going to perform a lot better. And you're going to back that up with hard data, understanding that the Keepa chart for each specific variation is going to be only for that variation, color, size combination, right? And you can further validate demand by looking at the reviews here as well. So in terms of actually wrapping up the Keepa section right here, I want to show you a really, really good sourcing method as well. We're going to be doing beginner-friendly sourcing methods as well after we take a look at SellerAmp and some winning items right here. But if we take a look right here, this is a really, really good trick for sourcing. If we take a look at the sales rank or the Keepa chart right here, we can see the price on this absolutely skyrocketed last December. Makes sense. It's a winter-themed item that would do really well. It went from like the 55 range all the way up to like the 70 range. And what we can do here is we can hit data and then buy box statistics right here, and then hit the 365-day view and filter to who sold at the most expensive prices, right? And then what we can do is using the Storefront stalking method I'm about to show you guys in a few minutes when we do product research, you can find really smart sellers to actually go ahead and Storefront stock here because we can take a look historically who sold this item at the most expensive price. Those are really, really smart people who had stock, who raised their price at that point as the market was going there. Those people are going to have other good listings to take advantage of, especially as Q4 comes, because the cool part is we can see over time what products perform well during Q4, what products perform well during back to school, what products perform well during the summer. Then we can go ahead and look for those products, as well as we can Storefront stock using this buy box statistics method to find stuff. We go into the 365-day data, filtering to the most expensive price, and then Storefront stocking to people to take a look at. And we're going to do some live Storefront stocking to find products in a couple minutes after we take a look at SellerAmp and some winning product analysis. That's the Keepa section. So we just took a look at how Keepa works, and now we're going to be taking a look at the other Amazon seller product research software that you want to be using. SellerAmp is our product research tool. It costs around $20 per month, and it works hand in hand with Keepa. You're going to use it via the Chrome extension, which you're going to want to get via the Google Chrome store. You can also download our phone app in case you're doing retail arbitrage. They work hand in hand. I'm going to show you how to use the Chrome extension because this is a tutorial specifically for online arbitrage, but the mobile app is very, very similar. To start out, you're going to want to configure your SellerAmp settings in the right way. This is going to be found from going to selleramp.com, then hitting the top right drop-down menu, hitting settings, and take you here. I'd recommend just copying in the buying criteria that I have right here. You can even go 25% ROI if you want right here, but I just like to put 30 because that's what I use for my own Amazon business. Right, minimum BSR % 0, obviously. Maximum do 1%, although I'm much more just looking at the actual static sales rank and sales rank over time just using Keepa. Minimum profit $3 per unit. Some of you guys might want to go $4 per unit depending on kind of how much time you have available for the stuff and such. But either way, you're going to be able to analyze products the right way. In terms of additional costs, is actually pretty important right here. So for example, I use a prep center. So I pay $0 for MISC fee, which is typically sales tax, but then my prep fee is $1 a unit. However, a lot of you guys, when you're starting, you're going to be here at $0.00 for a prep center fee. Meanwhile, you're going to have like 6.5% sales tax, depending on your state, which you can find in Google. So that's why I'd recommend setting up in there in terms of settings. Other than that, I really like having the buy box analysis feature toggled on. It's a new feature with us for SellerAmp, so it's probably going to be toggled off for a lot of you guys when you're watching this video. But you can toggle it on right here. And then this is just some other features. I don't have a lot of some of this other stuff selected. You can feel free to select some of the stuff depending on kind of what you're looking at right here. But I do have these guys selected on. I choose the default settings plus the buy box analysis right here. And then don't really worry about some of these other ones. You definitely want to have these selected. They should be default. Right then, once you add in your sales tax, you are good to go. And we're going to hop over to the Chrome extension as well. So taking a look on Amazon.com product page, where you're going to be doing a lot of product research when you're actually using SellerAmp. Right here, just to start off, you can put it on any part of the screen that you want to. There's actually an ongoing debate on Amazon seller Twitter about what part of the screen the SellerAmp actually goes on. Right here, the nice thing is you can move it all around right here as well. So this is the Chrome extension. You can also view any data you want to on the web app here, right, as well. I'm going to walk through all these features, show you guys how it works. But if you do want to see it all nicely laid out in one place, you can use the web app, which typically makes sense when you're repricing products, being able to see the Keepa chart, as well as it makes a lot of sense if you're doing like big orders for wholesale and such and everything. But you're mainly going to be using just the Chrome extension right here. I like having it just about this size on the right side. To start off, you can see the product title, as well as we can see the ASIN and the UPC, as well as the EAN. The ASIN is going to be important because this is what you're going to list the product with, as well as taking a look. We can see the dimensions right here. This is really important for estimating FBM shipping cost as well. You can see the description of the product right here. That's not super important. If you say you're on like you want to open the Amazon product page, you're on one of the other parts of SellerAmp, you would do that. In terms of actually going ahead and hunting and taking a look at products profitable, the Google button right here is very helpful. You just click right here and it plugs it in. So, when you're doing a lot of product research, what I'm going to show you guys in a couple minutes here how to do, you're going to be looking inside the other storefronts of sellers, and then you're going to just click the Google button and go ahead and take a look for that product profitably across the internet right here as well. The eligibility just based on ungating. Ungating is going to be nice and easy for you guys. You're going to watch the tutorial in this video. Alerts right here. So this will be alerts of products like private label, for example. Typically, you guys will see the private label alert on a lot of low competition items, sub 3 sellers. It's really important to actually go ahead and take a look at what brand that product is, because some Lego stuff, some Nike stuff, some Adidas stuff obviously isn't private label. It's just low competition, and SellerAmp might show the private label alert there. It'll also show potential IP complaint products, just like I showed you guys in Keepa. Avoiding IP complaints is incredibly important. In terms of the BSR right here, so that's the sales rank, right? So you want to make sure you're staying under 100, 150,000 right there as well. Estimated sales per month across all variations here is about 400. It's really important to use estimated sales BSR as well as just the overall velocity, just taking a look at the Keepa chart to gauge velocity on a product. The max cost right here, so if we plug in $14.89, this is taking into account sales tax that I have factored in on SellerAmp, product cost, everything that goes into it, even shipping to Amazon. You guys can see over in my settings, I have 30 cents per pound plugged in an inbound shipping. I highly recommend doing that. So for example, right, ideally you want as low buy cost as possible. Like we could pick this up for $12.50. Right here, we make about $7 profit, a 23% profit margin, and 56% ROI. I'm personally the type of seller where I really like to use ROI as a baseline. So I like that 30% plus ROI, $3 profit plus per unit. Although some sellers even will do a lot less per unit and they can just pump volume. It's a lot cheaper products right there as well. The offer summary shows you how much competition is on a product. This is a completely normal amount for an 11K sales rank, which is great. And then we're going to take a look down here at the ranks and prices. So we can see currently, as well as over time, the averages of these different stats. I don't look at this data too much on SellerAmp, but I know some people really like to in terms of seeing like the BSR drops, net price changes, estimated sales, estimated time to sale. When we last looked at this, we could refresh this data as well. And then the overall direct BSR. Then we can see the averages like the 90-day BSRs. We can see it's a little bit higher. 180-day BSR is a lot higher. Makes sense. I'm filming this in November. Toys are starting to heat up a little bit, so it makes sense that the rank would be dropping on some Legos. Right here, it makes sense to go ahead and get logged into your Amazon Seller Central account so you can check for ungating. Also, we can see Amazon share on the buy box, never on listing. That's great. Private label, unlikely because there's a bunch of sellers. No IP issues known on Lego, which is awesome. Standard size product, great. Meltable, not a big deal. Obviously not a meltable product right here. And then now we can see a smaller view of the Keepa chart. So I definitely recommend having Keepa so you can look at some of those stats like product details, offers tab, etc. However, especially when you're doing retail arbitrage, the Keepa part of SellerAmp comes in handy to be able to actually see the chart nice and quick. So we can see this bottom chart is the exact same thing as Keepa, the offer count right there. And then we can see the buy box price and sales rank charts up here that you want to be tracking. We can see that over time. We can see the year long. We can see this absolutely went to the moon in May for whatever reason. And then we can see it's actually currently going to the moon as well right there. Taking a look further down at the profit calculator right here, this is really, really important as you start to do FBM items. We can see this is default toggle to FBA on SellerAmp as well as the one at the top. And then we can go here and plug in FBM. And then for our FBM shipping costs, we need to add in the estimate based on the dimensions, which we can see up here. So this is 8 ounces. So it's probably going to ship in like the $5 range right here. The closer you get to 1 pound, it's going to get close to like $6.50. And then just above 1 pound, like 1 pound and above, right? It jumps up to like $9, $13 basically. And I have other videos breaking down FBM on the channel too. Right? But that's how you estimate FBM costs, which is incredibly important. You can also see the profit margin as well as ROI. You can do this nice quantity checker. Say you bought 15 units of this at $12.50 buy cost. You'd make about $101 in profit. The variations tab on SellerAmp, I wouldn't really worry about that right now. Notes, you can add notes to a specific product, which is really, really helpful. As well as you can also plug this in, say you find like a 10% email sign-up coupon, right, which I'm going to talk about in a couple minutes, which is really the key to online arbitrage, right? You can plug that in, it'll automatically discount it right there as well. The offers right here. So this is really, really important in terms of actually going ahead and finding products, which I'm going to show you guys in a couple minutes. The storefront stalking side of SellerAmp is really, really important, that we can use SellerAmp to open up the storefronts of these other sellers and take a look at what other products they're carrying right here. So we can open up all these guys within SellerAmp, and this is called storefront stalking. So we can see inside their storefronts and see all the brands they're carrying right here, as well as how many reviews they have, how many ASINs they have, as well as the categories that they're carrying, as well as we can filter into them too, right here and everything. So we can see right here all these different brands, categories, etc., that these sellers are carrying right here. We can take a look. You see a lot of these guys are hanging out in the Nike side of things. We can see, okay, 6K rank. This looks pretty quick selling. We can plug this in on Google, see if we can track this guy down right here. We can see 51 right here. That doesn't really work. That's $10 below the max cost right there. We can see these grade school ones actually at 38 look pretty good. We can see if these guys are profitable. That's a nice thing too, is like as you're doing product research, you're going to come across stuff all the time that looks like a deal. So like this is pretty discounted. Right here, so $38.50. Right here, let's plug this in. We can see, yeah, 103 right here. Like this actually should be pretty profitable. It's rare to just go 1 for 1 like that. But yeah, we can see $103 right here. And then we'll take a look and just break down this guy. Yeah, so we can, oh, okay. So this is profitable. However, the rank is pretty high right here. It's a 300K rank. So I would probably pass on this. The interesting part is we can see that this actually item does actually sell right here. So it's just a little bit higher margin. So like what some savvy sellers would do is they would just lower the price on this and see if they could get the rank to go down as well. We can also see this is a brand new listing because I've only been around for 17 days right here, but it's actually pretty close to just a profitable product and just an example of storefront stalking right here. So some sellers like to only open up sellers with a certain amount of reviews. As beginners, I would just kind of recommend open up the first 10 and see what you do, because the nice thing is you're going to be introduced to so many new leads, just storefront stalking off listings that you're currently on. It'll introduce you to a lot more stuff, which is incredibly helpful in terms of doing product research. The Google Sheets feature on SellerAmp is really, really important too, because this is really helpful for organization in that all the time as you're doing product research, you're going to come across stuff that's close to being good, but it's out of stock, or it's almost good. It's a 20% ROI and a 10% extra coupon during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It might make it the 30 to 40% ROI you need, depending on what that coupon is. Or you can see on the Keepa chart that it did really well last Q4, that it did really well back to school, or it's a backpack that's probably going to do well during back to school this year. And you can use the SellerAmp Google Sheets feature to one-click export these products out to stay organized with that. We can see, we can export that out. We can see Q4 leads example down here, nicely hanging out. That Lego item gets added right there. We could add a little note like went up a lot in April, May, whatever, seasonal item, toy, something like that, right? And so you can add in whatever system works best for you. But I definitely recommend utilizing the Google Sheets feature on SellerAmp to stay organized. You can also see, you can go ahead and add this product to Seller Essential if you want to, look up details. We can see I looked at this earlier today. And then the last feature of SellerAmp, right, it's pretty straightforward in terms of using it. Storefront stock feature, profit calculator, and on the Chrome extensions, mainly what you're going to be using. Also, mobile app with retail arbitrage can be helpful too. We can see the buy box analysis feature. This is really helpful for actually going in and pricing your products. And it's important to note that the buy box can be very different on items literally just throughout the day. So like we can see if we filtered last once, like we can see just now, there's a $4 difference in the buy box right there. That's based on a variety of factors, typically the delivery dates of other sellers to see how competitive they are. Like we can see like this seller's getting the buy box $4 above that seller because his delivery date is literally in 3 days from now, November 13th when I'm filming this right here. So the cool thing is you can see who's winning the buy box at the most expensive price over what period of time right here, as well as who's winning it the most, right? And who's winning it the most recently, which is really, really helpful for actually going ahead and doing product analysis. This is mainly helpful for when you're actually going in and listing your products on Amazon, taking a look at what prices people are getting sales at. And then a good pro tip is when you're sending in your products to FBA, it makes sense to put your price a little bit above the buy box to make sure you're not the one taking the price if it does end up going down, because all the time you're going to be able to sell products above the buy box when you're sending in products to Amazon Prime. And you can see that right here, just looking at the difference in price people get in the buy box at. Yeah, you can see literally 3 and 4 days ago, one seller buy box at 40, one seller buy box at 33, entirely dependent on just who's pricing. Their reviews don't really matter. It's mainly just delivery dates right here. And we can take a look further and see, like, of course, this seller's not getting the buy box. His delivery date is December 8th to the 14th. Like, of course, that's not going to work. Meanwhile, that these sellers in the bot and in that are getting buy box, their delivery dates are a lot more caught up, which for FBM is based on your handling time, and for FBA is just based on your inventory getting checked in to FBA. So that's a baseline look at SellerAmp, which is really, really important for product research. Let's take a look at some further product research. So now we know how to analyze products. Here's a couple examples of good profitable products in terms of what it actually looks like and how to break down. So we can see these Adidas shorts are over here for 30 bucks. We can see there's a 50% off sale going on right now. And the key is that this is during early Black Friday. So we get another additional 30% off using a coupon code I found from the homepage on the website. And they just notified me of that via email, which goes in the discount strategies I'm going to talk about further on the course. So we can see these are retail price 30. They're on sale for 15, and we have another 30% off. Then I just go ahead and see over here on Amazon, we can see these currently don't have a buy box, but there's only one seller. So the lowest price is 35 bucks, and these have a solid sales rank, right? So we know that these sell quick. They're a common color, and we can see here at 15, even that would be profitable. But if we take off 30% from that, we can see this is a fantastic ROI, right? And the key is too, I really like shoes and clothing and stuff like that because there's multiple sizes as well. So we can see a size large is also good, an extra large is also good. And in terms of like the best sizes for products, it's typically the most common ones. Nice thing is you're going to be able to see on the Keepa chart. And then if we look at the Keepa chart here, we can see for the last 90 days, we have pretty much 100% profitability on this product because we can see the entire time it's been above 30 bucks. There's a little bit where Amazon was on it, but then Amazon sold out. Price has consistently been at 35 bucks. So this is what a nice winning product looks like. We can also go to variations on Keepa and see if there's any other ones we're missing out on in terms like we can see over here on Adidas, they got the navy one. Oh, navy ones are further more expensive. Those probably don't work, but definitely let's see crew navy right here. 34. Yeah. So if those ones were similarly, oh, actually that does work. Yeah. 15, or 21, take off 30%. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So 42, right? So we can see it says the lowest price is 34 right here, but let's look at that right here. And we can see that it's actually 34, but this seller is also charging for shipping, which you shouldn't do as an FBM seller right here, or FBA seller, you can't. So if we go here, it's really 14 into 42, which makes this a nice ROI as well. And then we want to verify the sales from taking a look at the Keepa chart. And we can see that over the 3 month, Amazon's been on this at a couple points at 21, which obviously would put us at losing a little bit of money. However, we can see probably about 85, 83 out of the last 90 days, we are profitable on something like this. So this is a good example of how to use one profitable product to find another profitable product, just taking a look at the other colors and sizes and actually finding it from the same supplier as well. Product number 2, we can see we got 10% cash back on Rakuten on Nike.com, which is fantastic. You definitely want to make sure using Rakuten, we can see $100 retail price on sale for $80, and we have 25% off using the early Black Friday sale. So we're really only paying 60 bucks. And we can see over on Amazon, the same shoe right here is 140, right? So we plug in 80 times 0.75. Right here, we can see that puts us at a really, really fat profit right here. Now we can see there is the private label art. However, it's just due there being low competition, right? So we know right off the bat, it's a good BSR. It's a common color. It's nice and profitable, right? And then we just need to verify from the Keepa chart that this actually sells right here and that we can see that the competition is basically only one seller right now. It's previously been 116. So we'd probably want to estimate close to that 116, 120 range right here. So about $27 in profit, 46% ROI is not bad whatsoever. And the cool part is if you want to take a look at some other sizes too, we just click into these, verify that the Keepa chart looks good, but purely on a profitability basis, we are probably good here at 60 bucks as well. right? So we can see it's about $21 profit, not counting in the rack tin, which is fat on that product. So that is absolutely not bad. And then we do want to find more products from here. I'm going to show you that in a couple minutes in terms of actually go ahead and take a look at further stuff. Now, products in terms of wanting to avoid right here, we can see right off the bat, this is a 3K rank, which is fantastic right here. And it's like red, it's a common color. The problem is we can see if we look at the year long that this product is selling for significantly less, even down here. Some people really undercutting down at 13 compared to where it was just a couple months ago, like 30, 35 and such. And that's probably a result of the competition going up. So if you ever see the competition spiking up, like we can see, especially in like this range back in July and September and such, the competition went from like 50 all the way down, all the way up to like over 100 in September. And the price subsequently went from like 30, 35 range all the way down to like 23. So if the competition's shooting up, that's the type of product you want to avoid. Even if you're nice and profitable, maybe if you're like 50% ROI plus, you can take a chance, especially if you're going to go and FBM that. However, you in general want to be avoiding stuff that the price is headed down on and that the competition is headed up on right here. In terms of other types of products you want to avoid, just right off the bat, if you see a 400,000 sales rank, you're almost always going to avoid that. We can take a look at the Keepa and see there's just such a lack of movement compared to like the product we just looked at. There's a lot less competition oscillation. In this case, there's pretty much none. We can see the sales rank is a lot more choppy at those high sales ranks, right? So for every product, you want to make sure it's below 100, 150,000 sales rank mainly, especially this time of year, 150,000 sales rank, 30% ROI plus, competition not shooting up, price not shooting down, price stable or going up, competition stable or going down, no private label in terms like this one's fine because we can see it's Thrive Cosmetics is the brand right here. But if there's other Thrive Cosmetics items, there's a lot of people on. I just found like looking at other brands, but this actually kind of does look like a private label. It's not. I've sold this brand before, but in general, right, you want to make sure it's not private label. Want to make sure there's no IP complaint history, and you'll be good to go. Now I'm going to show you how to actually go ahead and find your own profitable products and get going with product research today. All right, guys, time to do some live product research and go through, okay, we know how to analyze products, what a winning product looks like, what a bad product looks like. Now we need to talk about how to actually find further winning products. So right off the bat, we can see there's 50% off sale on the site called Snipes. That takes these down to $50, right? If we plug in $50, moving at 98, we can see very sustainably on the Keepa. That's about $21 profit and a 43% ROI. We're here, and what we're going to be doing is called the Storefront stalking method. So what I'm going to do is scroll down here, and then we can see all the other sellers that are selling this product on SellerAmp. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up all the other sellers here, and we're going to take a look at what items they're selling to find additional winning products. Because, right, you can see, take a look at the variations tab on Keepa. You can find tons of other sellers right here as well. We can see this one's got 36. We can open up some more sellers. Right here, we're going to learn a lot by looking at what successful sellers are selling, because the nice thing is all of this information is public. Amazon provides it in terms of what other sellers are selling. So we can just go open up these other sellers and take a look inside their storefronts and see what brands they're carrying, what categories they're carrying, right? So we can see a seller's ratings count as well as their ASIN count. We can see their different brands and the different categories that they're carrying. And we can scroll through a bunch of other sellers here and really easily find a bunch of winning products. Not necessarily really easily, but really easily see examples of what they're selling and try to dial in and find other winning products from here and such. So typically the sweet spot in terms of sellers to use storefront stock is typically right in like the 100 ASIN, 150, 500 ASIN range right here. Like we can see this seller, 27K rank, 12K rank, 3K rank, right? So I like either filtering to the favorite brands, or if they have a lot of consistent brands that I like to sell, I'll just open up so we can see like 27K rank right there. We can see Amazon's on this listing. However, the price is pretty stable and the buy box closely matches where Amazon is. So I have a feeling third-party sellers are getting the buy box there. 12K rank right there looks pretty good. 3K rank right here, right? So we can dial in and see what we got. The nice thing is you're going to find tons of different items to look through that fit our velocity criteria. Just open up these different sellers and take a look. So we can see like, okay, 16K rank, 8K rank right there. That looks good. All these different listings that these different sellers are carrying, right? So we can see, take a look at other stuff, right? Lots of other stuff to potentially take a look through. 14K rank right there, 73K rank right here, right? You're really going to be able to find endless fast selling items just looking at what these other sellers are selling. We can see, okay, some high ranks right there on that kind of stuff. We can see some other brands right here. And the nice thing too is as you're doing storefront stalking, you're going to get introduced to a lot of new reseller friendly brands as well by just looking at what other sellers are selling right here. So it's like 6K rank on cloud sneakers, 3K rank right there. These guys are pumping right here. We can open up these backpacks, right? And then from here, what I like to do is when I'm looking at other sellers is I like to get a sense of, okay, what are they selling? Open up a bunch of fast selling listings, open up a bunch from them, and then we can just click in here, one of the sizes, and see kind of what the price is like, and then hit a quick Google search on this as well. And then later in the course, we're going to be going through a lot of discounting methods in terms of how do you actually make items profitable. Here's like, for example, these might be refurbished here on REI, but these look pretty good. Okay, well worn. That's actually a pretty good deal just for the personal too, but not seeing those guys properly. Right here, we can see these are the women's on clouds. These are going for around, yeah, like $150. You want to pick these up for like $75 right here. So we can see, okay, not seeing these guys for around 75, right? Okay, we'll keep rolling right here. Take a look, Nike Elite backpack right here. So our max cost is $50 on SellerAmp. So we can pick this up for $50. We will be nice and profitable. We can see 20, 87, 87. That doesn't work. This looks like a pretty good deal potentially right here. All the time when you're Googling products with SellerAmp, you're going to come across stuff that looks like a deal. Like for example, like right here, this looks potentially pretty good. Nike Elemental right here, 36, take off 25%. So we can see that there's a nice discount going on Nike.com right here. So we're paying like $27, right? So yeah, here we go, 55. Right, yeah, these pink backpacks right here. So let's see. Right here, yeah, nice. Okay, so let's see, $36 right here. Take out 25%. Pink's looking the same right there, so we can see. Make sure that matches up right there. Yes, it's got the hooks, got the 2 zippers at the top too. Looking good right there. So it looks like we are dialing in. Nice $13 profit right there. Start us off. Absolutely not bad. Ooh, super sustainable too, which is great as well right there too. Okay, let's see what we got. These are, let's see, first order business variations. Get a vibe what stuff's going for right here. So unfortunately, a lot of these variations aren't really selling. I can see they don't really have reviews. Okay, some of them are actually pretty new listings here. I've only been around for like 47 days. And we can see, ooh, look at those competitions shooting up. I'm not a fan of those new offer counts though, that's for sure. Are we missing anything? What's selling the quickest here? Yeah, so, okay, actually interesting because a lot of these don't have buy boxes, but they're around like 80, 81. So we can see if we can pick these up for like $40 here. Let's see. Right, and the nice thing is Google tells us where we can find them if we're potentially going to be able to make money. So let's see. So we can pick these up for 52 right here. It looks like using that discount. So if we plug in 52 right here, that's going to put us, yeah, about a 15% ROI right here. So that's actually close. What I want to do in this case is put this on an almost good spreadsheet in SellerAmp right here. So you can get your SellerAmp spreadsheets organized there. Take a look at that. Let's see. Nike hoodies right here. Wow, so these saw a big competition increase in early October, but the price has been pretty stable since. So it's been right in like the 150 range right here. So if we can pick this up for like $75, we're going to be in a pretty good spot right here. Okay, 90 women's. Let's see. Women's right there, 26. That looks like a good deal too right here. Okay, so let's see. They have so they have XL and 2XL here, which we can see. There's not a listing for those. So that's not going to be good. Let's take a look at these hoodies. We're paying like 21 for them right here. We'll get a new Amazon window up right here. Right, so we want to locate that Amazon listing. We can see black. Okay, black medium right here. Nice. Okay, no buy box here, but we can see at 41 right here. And then let's see. So our cost is 27, and then we want to take off 27 times 0.75. Right here, so this is about a $5 profit and a 29% ROI. However, this is a hoodie and it's November, so I do expect this would probably perform better in the future, which luckily we can verify on Keepa last year that a lot of people sold this at a lot more expensive last year as well, right? In like the 47, 45 range. There's a decent chance that this item actually ends up performing a lot better come Q4. Not a fan of really speculating on stuff going up in price. However, we can see if this does touch 45 again, it becomes a nice sustainable $9 profit. Also fantastic cash back from Nike.com too. And I bet you some of these other colors are good as well. But that's like an example of a very close to pretty good product that's probably going to end up being good again in the future. And we can see, yeah, like that extra large is 44, like that's already profitable. It's just out of stock. Carbon Heather right here. Yeah, Carbon Heather right there. So we can see you got a size small, Carbon Heather. Right there, let's see. Is there not? Oh, size small right there. Yeah, 27. Okay, so that absolutely doesn't work. So there's that one that was pretty close right there. And as you do more and more product research, you're going to come across more and more stuff that looks very similar to that. Right here, okay, let's see. So these Grand Court shoes, yes, these are pretty sustainably in like the 50 range. And we can see that Amazon's on these. However, we can see that Amazon's sharing the buy box a lot. Yeah, Amazon's getting about 75% of it. However, on a really, really good ranked listing, this can completely be fine right here. So let's see. These Grand Courts, we need to pay like $25 for them. Which we can see, yeah, $42, that doesn't work. Use.com, 70. Not seeing anything super promising in the Google search as well. Either right here.
Let's see, we already looked at those. All right, let's see these mid shoes right here. There's like $90. We need to pay like 50 for them. Right here, okay. Not seeing anything super promising in these either. Right here, okay. Let's see what we got. Let's see kill shots. So I bought a ton of these. You guys can see like you got to get through a lot of good items fast. And the big thing is just disqualifying. Typically, there's tons of stuff that sells really quick. It's just disqualifying the stuff that you aren't able to find profitably and track down stuff you are able to find profitably as quick as possible is the name of the game with product research. And things, let's see, $90. Those are not good. Right here. Let's see. Okay. Revolutions here. Let's get a quick vibe on what these guys are going for. So we can see 46, 52, 51 right here, women's. Let's see, do we have that additional 25% with Nike.com? Yeah, so certain times it'll pop up. Yeah, like for example, like that color works on right there. So let's see if that color's on here. Light violet champagne. Yeah, here we go. Light violet white champagne. So what are we paying? So we're paying like 45. Right here, let's see if any of those work. $70, $89.99, and 11.5. Yeah, okay, check it out. So an 11.5 women's price isn't going to sell crazy quick, but we can see, yeah, lowest price is $90. Oh, there's only one seller too, which is a pretty good sign as well. So 56, take off 25%. Right there. Right, so it's about $23 profit, 50% ROI. Right there, $24 profit. And we can see, yeah, so this is a pretty new listing here. It's only been around 26 days, but we can see that this is actually sold out several times. And then we can see it's 2 sellers. Then a couple days later, there were no sellers. Then 1 seller came back in stock. He sold out pretty quick right here. So this fits the profitability criteria. And the key here, guys, we can see at 57, that didn't make sense, but at 57 times 0.75, take off that 25% from that coupon code. Now it does become profitable. Right there. So that's absolutely not bad. And then we can see this is a 5K rank for the overall listing. So there's, or 7K rank. So there's probably gonna be some other variations that are good too. Like we can see like Hyper Pink 18 reviews right there. And we can see Purple Lilac 94. We can take a look at that as well right here. So let's see what we got. So max cost, yeah, $56. So 56, 30% ROI. Although women's shoes, we want to do 35% ROI and cash back. Just like here we go. Okay, we got $10 off 75 plus. We're here, $50. So certain times you'll see these discounts at like a certain dollar amount that you can just reuse, right? So it's $10 off 75 plus. So say we do orders at 2 on this product. Right here, we do 50 times 2, and then we minus 10, divide by 2. Right there, so now we're paying 45 a piece. Right there, you can just do math within SellerAmp. Now this becomes a $28 profit, 60% ROI, not bad whatsoever. We can see as of the past 2 weeks here, especially when we're talking about, oh, okay, well actually just in general here, this has been very good for a while, right? We can scroll down here and take a look at the buy box analysis on SellerAmp here and see over the last 30 days, right? We're pretty much profitable at everything except 13% of the buy box share that was going at 75. And even at $75, probably just about like 20% ROI. Yeah, exactly, right? Like the very, very worst case scenario is that. So in terms of like bets to place, right? I definitely wouldn't recommend buying any of the stuff you see in this video. It's much more just speaking conceptually about how to actually go ahead and locate and find winning products on your own right here, but that's absolutely not bad. Right there, we can take a look at some of the common color, like what are all the all black ones going for? Wow, okay, so all black one at 109 right here. I bet you we can track these guys down. And that's the cool thing about shoes. There's other sizes, other colors, etc. Right here, it's like, yeah, we can see women's. Right here, yeah, same deal. 55 right here, so 55 times 2, oops, times 2, minus 10, divided by 2. Right here, yeah, so it's actually a pretty good ROI. Seems like a little weird that these are up at 100, but we can see since October 27th, they've been there. So especially as a beginner, especially during Q4, talking about being able to FBM stuff like crazy, just take that out. Nice and pops in there. So that's absolutely not bad right here. And see, let's see these duffel bags. These are trending in the right direction too on Keepa. We can see competition trending down, price trending up. Let's see, we got Brasilia large duffel. Let's see 20 off 100 plus. It's a small right here. Okay, I don't think we're going to be good on any of these guys. Let's see. So duffel. So yeah, 42 definitely doesn't work, and that's like a weird color as well. So we're not going to worry about that. Let's pull up some more sellers here and keep this momentum going. Let's see if we can track down some more stuff. Profitable right here. Let's see. FBA sellers right here. Right, and you know, some people mainly look at certain review counts. Some people mainly just do FBA sellers and such. But in general, like a lot of these big sellers I like to avoid. But let's see. Let's get some moderately sized. Yeah, here we go. Okay, let's see. Like 294 reviews. Yeah, we already looked at those. Converses I like doing too. right here. We can see some other really good Nike 120K rank. We can take a look at that. 4K rank. We can take a look at that. Right, 13K rank. I don't really like doing super hype shoes. Sometimes 28K rank, 6K rank, those look good too. And you see, the nice thing is you can see people carry a variety of different stuff in their storefronts, right? So you don't necessarily have to commit to one thing right there as well. So we can see like, okay, Converse stuff right here. We can see tons of different ones. 62, right? It's like, could we pay $33 for those? It's like possibly, right? I don't know. Take a look. Converse Chuck Taylor shoes. Let's see. So those look a little expensive. All-Star Low Big Kids. 30. Let's see. These are men's though. Those leather ones potentially good. Let's see. All the time when you're doing proxy research, you're going to come across stuff. Okay, I bet you these are totally good because a lot of the other sizes are out of stock here. Let's see. Leather. Okay, so you want black leather. Yeah, here we go. Black leather. Let's see. Do we have men's 8.5? 7 men's. 10. Yeah. So see, 9.5 women, 8 men's. So 10 women's would be a 8.5 men's. Right here. There's some nuance on stuff like we can see. Yeah, okay, check this out. So like this is actually pretty profitable here. The problem is the velocity is low. So we can see on the Keepa chart that these have actually moved. Right here, the problem is I just like don't see them going to be doing super well. Unfortunately, right here, so we can see like competition's pretty stable. It's like they just don't really sell super well. We can see that they have actually moved looking at the competition movement, just not crazy quick right there. So I'd personally avoid a listing like this. We can see 45 on these guys. We're here, they're around 80, so we want to pick them up for like 45. Let's see if that's possible. $40 right here, this weird color. Burnt honey, let's see. Type this in. These are called, what, platforms? Yes, let's see. Platform Converse in the honey color. Burnt honey. Could have just copy and pasted that too. And what's cool too is when you search this, right, you can see tons of fast selling listings to go ahead and try and track down profitably right here. Obviously, we don't have time to look at all these in this video, but we can see that there's tons of reviews on all these, so we know people are making money on this stuff, right? Which is a very, very good sign as well. Let's see, okay. So we already got these guys open. Duffels right here, 28. Yeah, you get when you, oh, okay, men's 19. I wonder why that 19K rank's hiding in there. Typically, the stuff that shows up initially on a seller storefront is going to be the fastest selling stuff. Some of these backpacks I've like recognized from seeing it. The Outlet's 31K rank we can take a look at. 8K rank we can take a look at here. And then the other way of doing proc research that's a little bit harder but also more profitable, it's just a lot harder for beginners, is doing what's called manual sourcing, which would be like going to like Nike.com, for example, right here, and just opening up the sale they have going on. We can see save up 60% early Black Friday, just hitting shop now and then referencing over the products that are carried in these seller storefronts and opening up, or in this sale that the sale goes on, and then referencing over to Amazon. This doesn't make as much sense when you're a beginner though, because you don't really know what to look for yet. But the key is what teaches you what to look for is reverse sourcing, looking inside the storefronts of successful sellers, storefront stocking, which is incredibly helpful right here as well. We can see this has been a good rank in the past. I bet you this rank comes back down. I bet you this actually ends up being a good item. We can see for whatever reason though, the rank had been incredibly choppy in the past, but these have actually consistently sold. So occasionally the sales rank can be misleading, because typically if I saw a chart of competition that had fluctuations like this, I would assume is a pretty good lead, honestly. So that can definitely be misleading here from time to time. Let's see. I like to look at that. This is a different item, but it just looks pretty good. Right here, women's Evernon sneakers. Yeah, 88 Canadian. That definitely doesn't work. Let's see, Court Royale too. Okay. All right, let's plug this in, see what we can do here. White metallic silver. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. Let's see if they got white metallic silver here. Yeah, we're also just in general, just opening this up, you end up seeing other fast selling listings you got to take a look at too. Let's see. So this is, yes, these are very, very profitable. It's like AU sizing though, which is weird. There's also no sales rank. Yeah, so it's 17 days. So that's why. So this actually does end up being pretty profitable if they're having 8.5, which they actually do here at $40, right? The key here is there's no sales rank, which is definitely misleading for some people. However, I can see this listing's only been around for 17 days. Typically, I'd like to have more data on that. However, for something like this where I'm incredibly profitable, maybe me being a little bit more experienced seller, maybe having a little bit more risk tolerance, some people might consider listing this and actually buying and listing it at like 90 and still being able to make a good ROI and just lowering that price to try and get the listing moving quicker because we don't have a ton of sales history. But it's a common color type of item. There's a chance it ends up doing well. And the nice thing is over time, you're going to get really, really good like sixth sense. You're going to get a sense like what you need to pay for different items and such to really take a look. Right here, let's see, $50, metallic silver. Okay. see what else we can track down here, ladies and gents. Okay, these are popping. Yes, this is a 4K rank. This looks great here. Let's see what we can do. We can see the fastest selling ones, if you filter by velocity, are right around, aka reviews, right around like 70 bucks. You want to pay like 35 for them. Right here, which we can see is looking not possible, unfortunately. You're going to find stuff all the time, so you're just Googling, it just looks like a deal. Might as well end up taking a look at it. Right here, let's see, 45. Yeah, Flex Experience, 42. That looks potentially good. We'll take a look at those, right? Although we can see, yeah, 48 right here. So, yeah, they don't even have the all black ones here. Let's see. Are any of these guys more expensive? Yeah, light, white, 15. Okay, white, black, smoke, gray. Let's see. 15's out of stock. Let's see. Yeah, white, smoke, gray, black. Okay. So those would be profitable out of stock at 65 times 0.75 right there. That's not good, however, though. Take a look at these guys. Let's see. We got regular and extra wide here, potentially. Okay. Flex Experience run 11s. Okay, we take a look at the women's ones, too. Okay, black. Do you have the gray ones here? Okay, it's the same price. Okay, nice. All right. Black and white. Black and white ones would have been good at that sub 50 cost, sub 40 cost. Let's see. Yeah, those are not going to be good, though. Black and white, yeah, 41. Okay, let's move in the quickest here. Yeah, 62, so that's definitely not going to work right there, unfortunately. Yeah, 60 bucks. You need to pick this up for like 31, which I don't think is going to be possible. Yeah, okay, 37 actually look is pretty close right there. 37 into, yeah, 65. So let's see. So it's just about, yeah, break even. That's the kind of thing where if this returns to like where it was around like 75, that becomes nice and profitable. Kind of thing you might consider tossing on a SellerAmp spreadsheet. The cool parts too, as we're Googling, I can see there's a nice sale on Finish Line going on. I can see there's a nice sale on Nike.com going on. See Shop WSS, the coupon going on. You start to pick up on these different discounts, and eventually you learn where to manual source as well, which is makes the whole process a lot more efficient. But when you're new, you got to put the time in reverse sourcing. You can start to learn some of these different good listings and such. Let's see. Okay, not seeing these guys where we need them to be. 70, 80 bucks right here. If you're on, so yeah, 60 bucks. Let's see. Sometimes there's different listings for stuff that we can see. Okay, Ebernon, the men's ones. We weren't able to find the women's ones occasionally, but we can take a look, see what we can do right here. See these black? Yeah, Habanero red. Yeah, 90 right there. I feel like we could pay 45 bucks for that, which would what we need to be profitable. Let's see. Yeah, nice black and red color right here. Let's see 42. Okay, not good. That looks like a deal though. Right here, sub 50. Okay, let's see. Court Vision low, midnight navy. Let's see. Court Vision low, midnight navy is there. Nike Court Vision. Yeah, occasionally you got to like play with the keywords a little bit. Let's see. Let's plug this in. Let's see what we got. Okay. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay. Boom. All right. Yeah, here we go. We're going to be pretty close. So 55. Okay, 20% off. Okay, 20. All right, so coupon's even better. We can see 20% off. This is what's called an email sign-up coupon. You can use this again and again. You can use what's called a catch-all. That's catch ALL email. You can look up a YouTube tutorial. Catch-all Namecheap is who you're going to open it up through. That lets you get an email address that you can use again and again, so you can get as many of these coupons as you want. Right here. So let's see. Let's plug this in. Let's see. 80 bucks, 88 right here. So let's see. So we're at 55, take off 25%. 55, take off, or 20%. Right here. Boom. Gotta love it. Right there. 90 bucks, right? So it's about $20 profit, 47% ROI. And remember, that's after sales tax, shipping, etc. Right here. So finding products is definitely hard as a beginner, but we can see like the lifetime this product's been around. This is nice and profitable here. It's been even like 112, which is even better. As of the past month, we can see competition trended up a bit, but the price actually stayed pretty stable as well. So it's about $21 profit, 48% ROI. That's an example of another winning product right here. So if you're new, you can use examples such as these, Storefront stock from here. You can watch my other sourcing videos, Storefront stock from items from there, and you are going to be able to find products over time. And later in the course, I'm going to show you how you can get products even cheaper as you're going ahead and doing product research using other methods. Let's hop back in my screen. As I've said before, getting your first sales up as quick as possible is your only priority as a new seller. You want to be doing small test orders of 30% plus ROI products and sub 150K sales rank items. FBMing stuff, just merchant filling stuff, can let you test items really fast, but don't expect to sell items FBM unless you were in 0-day handling time, which you set up by in the top right, go into settings, hitting the gear menu, and then hitting shipping settings, then hitting general shipping settings on Seller Central, and setting in 0-day handling time, which is going to skyrocket your buy box share, because your delivery dates, the faster you can get an order to a customer by moving your handling time down, you're going to be able to get a lot more buy box share, and make sure other people are FBMing on that listing as well. Just building that initial momentum and getting sales is really key. Retail arbitrage is going to allow you to get product in hand super fast and get it to market to beat your competition. Same thing with OA orders from websites that ship really quick. More listings equals more sales. Once you have like 10 plus ASINs, you can use an automated repricing software. I have a tutorial on Be Cool on my YouTube channel. And you got to understand, a good OA business has between 50 and 500 ASINs in stock at one time. So the quicker you can get to 50 plus ASINs, the quicker you're going to have consistent sales every day, which is completely doable within 30 to 60 days if you really hustle, get after it, do retail arbitrage, do online arbitrage. Great things can happen. Discounting is really the key with online arbitrage. A big beginner mistake is just assuming that stuff is going to be profitable at the advertised price when they Google something via reverse sourcing. Most everything will require some sort of discount, coupon, sale, discounted gift card, or rewards account to be profitable, right? Coupons come from the extensions, like you mentioned, email lists, and just networking with other sellers and just stumbling upon stuff. You can even ask the customer service on different websites. Sales are going to come and typically around the holidays, notified via looking on the website and that burner email address I mentioned. Rewards accounts are going to be different for every website, but almost every website offers some sort of rewards, like Kohl's Cash is a great example. Rack Room Shoes is a good discount too that you can look up. And you just always want to be getting the habit of checking out an account on different website. And then discount gift cards, an example of that is paying $94 for a $100 Nike gift card. That $6 goes straight to your bottom line profit. That's going to be doable via Raise, Top Cashback, and Card Cash, which is a big pro tip for online arbitrage. Always check if there's some sort of discounted gift card you can get on a different website as well. Verifying that an OA supplier is legit. This is a big thing beginners run into as well. Some websites are going to look sketchy. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. However, if they accept PayPal, it's a very, very green flag. So just always check out the PayPal and a credit card for 2 lines of security. If it's on one of the cashback extensions, it's a very, very green flag as well. You can also just check out like their Facebook page, social media, see how legit they look, check Trustpilot and the Better Business Bureau as well to see reviews of that website too. Delegating your business. So there's 2 main ways to actually delegate as you're scaling an online arbitrage business. There's prep centers and virtual assistants. So prep centers, basically third-party warehouses that intake your inventory for you, allowing you to work remote. This is typically going to cost between $1.25 to $1.75 per unit, and they get limited access to your seller account to create FBA shipments and process inventory on your behalf. Virtual assistants are offshore employees that handle computer-related tasks like admin work, sourcing, outreach if you're doing wholesale, or just organization. They're typically going to cost between $3 and $10 per hour. It's going to make sense to hire people from like the Philippines, Pakistan, Morocco, some of these countries that are a lot cheaper than the United States, Canada, and UK. And this makes sense around 20 to 30K a month in sales. And let's actually talk about hiring a prep center, right? So prepcenter.com, as well as my good friend Clear the Shelf on cleartheshelf.com, have a good list of prep centers. It makes sense to use one in a sales tax-free state to save money. Sales tax-free states being Delaware, New Hampshire, Oregon, or Montana. Basically, the math breaks down. So if you're paying $1.50 per unit and you're buying a $50 shoe, you are only going to pay $51.50. But if you live in like California or New York or Florida, some of these high sales tax states, you're actually going to pay between $53 and $55 for that product. Washington State's another really high sales tax one. So you actually get to save money and not have to worry about the warehouse, supplies, managing employees, and everything. So ideally, it's Delaware and New Hampshire just because East Coast is better. East Coast sellers get more buy box share because their fulfillment centers are closer to a lot of customers, so the delivery dates are better, and it's just an overall better customer experience. And just questions you want to be asking in terms of hiring a prep center, right? How long have they been in business? Do they sell on Amazon themselves? What's the expected turnaround time? What FBA warehouse do they send shipments into often? As well as what happens if an item's damaged? Do they do merchant fulfilled? Some prep centers do merchant fulfilled. Some sellers don't. Are they banned on any websites? Do any retailers typically give them problem in terms of like shipping incorrect quantities and such? Do they have plans to expand? How close they are to capacity? And you just want to treat your prep center as a long-term partner, and a really, really good place to find a prep center is going to be a referral from within the community of another seller who is working with the prep center they like. In terms of virtual assistants, my favorite place to hire a virtual assistant is going to be onlinejobs.ph. These are vetted Filipino employees, PH Philippines. My best virtual assistants have definitely been a culture fit. They've just been cheerful and very excited to work. I love giving virtual assistants bonuses. In terms of pay, I like the idea of just seeing what they want. Typically, when you post a job posting on onlinejobs.ph, people are going to have a going rate. You're going to interview them. You're going to get on Zoom, get a feel for them, right? I also really like the idea of hiring 2 VAs at the same time so you can compare, as well as sharing a virtual assistant with a friend to save money and give them twice the coaching is incredibly helpful. And you have to understand that a virtual assistant is basically like a long-term partner that you guys are going to learn and grow together. It's not going to be a solution to your problems. It's going to be something that helps as a winning seller, helps you win more. It doesn't help you go from a losing seller to a winning seller. That's going to be your own skill level and work ethic is going to make that change. In terms of action items for actually getting going today, you want to get your Amazon Seller Central account open as soon as possible. Get all the free coupon extensions, as well as get that burner email address started. Get a SellerAmp free trial and a Keepa subscription. Do a bunch of the auto ungate items. I'm going to show you how to get in a sec. Place an ungating order for a big brand or category of your interest, right? So if you like basketball, maybe do Nike and Adidas. If you like beauty stuff, do the beauty category. If you're into video games, looking to reseller-friendly video game types of products that basically just have third-party sellers, hit up your local Marshalls, Nike Out, or Ollie's. Do some retail arbitrage with SellerAmp. Scan the barcodes of anything you see to start learning product analysis for free. Like we all have old stuff in our house that has a barcode. Give it a scan. Just get a vibe of the sales rank and such as you're taking a look in terms of stuff. In terms of tips to fast-track success from someone who's helped tons of people build 6- and 7-figure businesses on Amazon, make a bunch of profit, join free online communities to help other new sellers, right? Twitter, Instagram, Discord, right? Consume a lot more of my product research content. We have over 140 episodes on all podcast platforms on the Buy Box Bandits. Retail Arbitrage plus FBM is really, really good for learning curve, especially if you can get to know the employees to build a unique edge. Making friends with other Amazon sellers was by far the most important thing I did too. And then looking into seasonal items, then storefront stalking sellers that are on those listings is really, really helpful to find smart sellers that are taking advantage of opportunistic opportunities here as well. I really, really appreciate you guys watching the free Amazon course. If you guys got any questions, please let me know down below and watch these 2 other videos, which is my auto ungating guide. So you can get a bunch of auto ungates done today, as well as a big product research masterclass to find a ton of additional profitable products. Subscribe for more. Let me know any questions in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.